So this is a pile of dead bees that's kind of been accumulating underneath this particular colony. It's probably most of them. Um, and I pulled a couple of frames to take a peek, and I'm gonna show you guys what what I saw when I did that. So I'm gonna pull this block and the foam off, and I'm gonna pop a couple of these frames, boxes and frames, and show you what we see. So it's February 25th or 26th. I'm sorry, 2023, and it feels like 48, 49 degrees right now. The bees they're flying and foraging, and there you go. Take a look at that. I don't know what they're on. Earlier it smelled like pollen sub, but I don't think any of the beekeepers around here, at least the ones I talked to, are putting out sub. But I've had some bees coming out of this one colony that was one of my breeder queens that were doing really well. Went into the fall really strong. Um, I've had her for a couple of years, and she has never been treated, but things aren't looking so great right now. I was watching some of the bees down on the bottom board earlier this morning when they were most active, and there's plenty of stores in here. There's lots of honey in this top box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames full, 5 medium frames full of honey. And when I was watching the bees down on the bottom board, I was watching bees crawl out with mites on them, looking really, really, really bad. Um, like I said, they were doing spectacular going into the fall. And we got a really small patch. Looks like a really small patch of bees here. And they are on a frame that does not have a whole lot of honey on it. So I suspect that they have been dying off not only by whatever they're dealing with as far as varroa is concerned, but probably access to food because they're so small. Oh, yep, there's the queen. She's got eggs. I'm not seeing a whole lot of brood. There's not much for brood either. They don't have enough bees. They don't have enough bees to keep any brood warm. They're not going to make it. So the question is, what do you do at this point? Especially if there's still active mites in here. Anything that comes into this colony is going to perish. Well, not perish, but pick up mites and take them back to their colony and cause them to perish. Small hive beetle. Yeah, this is a really bad situation. So not a lot of good options for this colony. I've thought about a couple of things and talked through a couple of options, and none of them seem really good. So given the fact that it is almost spring but not quite, and we can't really put her and the bees that are with her in another colony, without contaminating the colony that they go to. I can't bring them in the house because even if she was able to brood up enough, she's not going to make enough bees quick enough to outbreed the mites that are currently in there phoretic from all of the bee death. So the mites that are on each one of those may actually be too productive. Then again, maybe they're not. Maybe they've outlived their cycle. Who knows? But it's too many variables, too difficult to predict. So this is a bottle of alcohol where I put the queens that I end up culling or pinching or getting rid of to make swarm lure. And I'm going to grab her. I'm going to put her in here. I can tell you what, this is not easy. Chemical-free, treatment-free beekeeping. You think, you're solving the world's problems when you're raising better bees and selection at work, and maybe you are, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily come without peril or loss. And I'm probably gonna get stung. I don't like pinching queens. I don't like dealing with them in this capacity, but it is what it is. She doesn't look like she has any mites on her, but the retinue does. Her retinue definitely has mites on her. Mites on them. As for the rest of the bees, because they do have mites, one could say that the solution is to use oxalic acid vapor here and kill the mites that are phoretic. Or the other option is they'll probably freeze out tonight because it is supposed to get down pretty low. We'll see what happens, but yeah, there you go. That colony is done for.